Hello, ladies. Thank you for joining me for this quick postural check. We thought while we had some time together, being not in the studio, it was important to review some basics around form, posture, proper lifting technique, etc., so that while you're at home, you're able to self coach and self correct like we would if we were all in the studio together. So, for this very brief video, I just thought I would take about 2 minutes to go over a quick posture check. So, when you're standing, and this might be a position you're going to take for like something like a dumbbell curl, anything you're going to be doing overhead, anything like that, this is the form you want to take. So, when we typically are standing, some of us stick our pelvis forward, some of us slouch down, tip our pelvis back, and a lot of our posture has to do with how we sit in our pelvic area. So what you want to do is think about your pelvis as like a bowl of soup, okay? And you don't want the bowl of soup to tip over or to spill out backwards. But it doesn't start here. It starts all the way in our feet. You want to make sure your feet are about hip distance apart. Now, hip distance, these, as much as we call these our hips, actually isn't our hips. Hip distance is actually right where that bone is. So hip distance is actually much shorter than you think it is. It's typically about 2 fists between your 2 feet. Our body has clever ways to help self-measure. So with your feet about hip distance apart, you want to make sure your weight is evenly distributed between the ball of the foot and the heel of the foot. So rock back and forth a couple of times until you can feel connection to the ground on the ball of the foot and on the heel of the foot. Next, we want to check in with our knees. If we lock our knees out, you'll see for me, my chest goes out, my low back contracts, and my booty sticks out. I want to soften those knees, and by doing that, you'll see I bring myself back to center. I also want to now check in on my bowl of soup. I want to make sure I'm not leaning it forward and I'm not spilling it out back. So I engage my navel to my spine just to protect my low back, and I suck up and lock up through my pelvic floor. We often forget that pelvic floor when we're working out, but it's such an important element to protect the low back. Next, I want to make sure my shoulders are rolled back and my neck is neutral. Now, this is going to feel awkward because many of us do not stand with proper posture during the day. So that slight bend in the knees feels awkward. We're used to like jutting a hip out. We're used to kind of like locking a leg out, or we're used to like slouching over like this. We want to open that all up, lengthen through the body, soft on those knees. That bowl of soup is perfectly level. Shoulders are rolled back, chest is proud, core is engaged as my navel stays glued to my spine. And now I'm ready to take a bicep curl. Now I'm ready to do anything out in front of me. I'm ready to push anything up overhead. In addition, it will be from this position that we start taking that forward hinge, like where we might row from. And when we step it out a little bit wider, we'll begin to take our squats from. But we'll get into that next time. Thanks, ladies. I hope that was helpful.